Sorry, I had to usually pause at a certain point so I can actually take a snapshot of my face for my covers for YouTube and SoundCloud, and I guess maybe to advertise if I ever feel like doing that. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Be Cool. We are at episode 10, and yes, Akira is my special guest today. She is itching her ear and hiding under the blankets. Okay, stop doing that. Okay, stop doing that. I know. Okay. Yeah, shake it off. Alright, you're still gonna do it. Anyways, so this evening's episode, I didn't really know exactly what I really wanted to talk about. I didn't really have any topics in mind earlier today. I thought about it since yesterday, and I thought, maybe I'll just do some random favorites or something. But I didn't feel like that was kind of an awesome topic until Francis mentioned to me earlier that my topic, my episodes don't really have to have a topic. They can just be more of me kind of expressing my day and kind of letting y'all know about certain things and all this other stuff. Hi, twice on Periscope. It's always Periscope. I have to read super fast and catch it before they disappear because they're super quick on the text. And thank you for my awesome shirt. It's Booty King. Definitely check them out. This is an advertisement, so don't get that wrong. Anyways, so yes, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to speak about until the beloved life hits me, and there's going to be kind of two little things that I wanted to mention. They both relate to each other. One kind of goes into the other a little bit. She has to get comfortable. You have to get comfortable, and you need to lay down because you're now blocking me from everything. Well, now you can see Akira's butt. She likes to burrow. Give me a second to adjust this dog. Oh, she finally found a home. All right. So, yes, there's going to be two topics kind of that I wanted to talk about. One is more, unfortunately for y'all, it's more of a little rant from me. But it's something that happened earlier today that happened to me that still relates to modeling, and I feel like it's one of those things that I kind of wanted to share with other people because I don't know how many people have experienced this issue, or I wouldn't say it's an issue because it's just how some people deal with their business. But sorry, thank you. They thought my recent photo shoot with Scott and Cassandra, the one with my afro, was an awesome photo, and I appreciate it. I was honestly not 100% sure if that photo shoot was going to turn out, but once I got the photos, it turned out amazing, so that's always a great plus. I always ramble and I always go off topic, but I promise towards the end of the episodes, it all kind of links up together. But yes, so for those that do not know, because I totally always forget this, my name is L.Shima, and I am a full-time model, and this is my podcast, Be Cool. So for the first ones, and I felt like, and for whatever reason, because I need to, I talked to somebody in regards to a fan or a supporter, in regards, they didn't even know I have a store. So I felt like since I don't really advertise for other people, I might as well advertise for myself on my episodes. So I have to try to remember to do that because I'm not really good at that. So quickly, I just wanted to mention that I do have a Big Cartel store, and you can check out all the little goodies and merchandise that I have for sale. I am kind of cleaning it up at the moment, so there's not as much stuff as there used to be. I plan to put more merchandise on it this new year. Yay to the new year. And so just wait with me on that if you've already seen the store and you're just waiting for a certain product. And if there is a certain merchandise that you're interested in buying, or a photo that you're really loving and you want to know if you can get it as a print, feel free to email me at any time and I can let you know if that's a possibility or not. Usually if it's shot by a photographer that's not listed as anonymous, I realistically probably can't print it out, but there also might be chances where it's a possibility. So just feel free to ask me, and I am open to seeing what I can do for you, because, I just want to fulfill your dreams. All right, let's get into it. So starting today, I began organizing, so I'm like finding the words for this. I've began organizing my trip to New York City, and I noticed you mentioned earlier on Periscope that I should take a trip to North Carolina, and you're actually the second person that mentioned that to me. So looks like North Carolina might be in the running for a possible visit sometime this year. But yes, so now I'm organizing, and thank you for all the hearts, Jesus. This website says Booty King. Booty King. It's a Tumblr website. I'm pretty sure they have like other social medias. I just really more know them from Tumblr. But yes, and it's on my boobs. Sorry, I'm getting off track, people on Periscope. So I am organizing a trip to New York, and I've been to New York countless times. The last time I was in New York, it was very hectic. The weather was not on my side. It was raining, but not full-on rain. It was more like, let me just sprinkle this fresh, dirty water on your face. Or I don't know if rain is dirty, but nonetheless, let me just sprinkle this little water all through your entire visit to New York. So every shoot that you have in outdoors is just going to look like frizzy hair, and it's going to be out of control, and you're just going to be kind of wet, but not fully on wet, because yeah. So the last trip was just not the greatest as far as my energy-wise, but I got to work with a lot of awesome photographers. And this trip is going to be hopefully the same, but it's all about me trying to organize my scheduling and organize with other photographers and makeup artists and hairstylists and wardrobes, the entire team, to make sure that that happens and I have a superb photo shoot every time I have one in New York. So that's kind of the topic, but before I get into that, realistically, this still kind of relates. So earlier today, I have a certain way that I handle my bookings through, when I go to travels. So if I'm going to New York, I like to start off with organizing my paid opportunities first, just so I have the people that are interested in booking me for a paid shoot. They have more of their time scheduled. They can pick whatever day they honestly want at any time they want, because they have first come, first serve opportunity. And I feel like that's nice for them because they have more options with me. And I like to make sure also that I'm able to pay for my gas, any stays that I might be needing, food, if something were to happen to me, making sure that I can get to a hospital and be able to afford it, all the random expenses that comes from being a traveling model. So that's how I usually like to have it. Now, that starts to kind of dwindle. I don't want to spend too much time trying to find paid ones, because I also want to work on my portfolio and meet a lot of different photographers and other teams. So I kind of begin that way and then slowly kind of drift and kind of start mixing it between paid and paid and trade. Cassandra, I see you, and I'm trying to read that before it went away. Definitely you need to travel with me, girl. So I kind of was doing that today. I was more focused. I put a posting on Model Mayhem. As you may have seen, posted a photo or a traveling notice on all of my social media, and I just kind of made the announcement, hey, I'm going to be in New York these dates. If you're interested, feel free to email me for booking information. And so that's kind of how it goes. I usually leave paid photographers the chance to contact me. I don't go and personally reach certain individuals and ask them to pay me. I used to do that when I first started modeling, but I don't do it as much because, one, I'm not really shooting as much paid anyways, because usually it involves nudity and glamour, and from previous episodes you've learned that I'm kind of trailing away from that lifestyle. And also I feel like that's not rude, but I don't want to just force somebody like, hey, pay me. You don't know who I am, but pay me anyways. So I'd rather them come to me if they want an offer for something, and we can get discussed from there. So with that said, there are times when I do shoot trades, and I feel like I went over this last week, but I can't really remember. I feel like I mentioned it before, but when it comes to trades, I'm open to shoot trades with almost any person. It just depends if I will be getting something beneficial from them, and vice versa, if they will be getting something beneficial from myself. So it's a trade. It has to be mutual between the two parties and whoever else is involved. So if it's a wardrobe stylist is involved, obviously the same thing goes for them. So I typically reach out to photographers when I am interested in a collaboration. And the way I do this, I have a photographer list, so a huge list that I've saved over the years that have names of photographers that I've actually reached out to and they've agreed that they want to collaborate. It's just now up to me to get to that location that they reside in. That's one option that I always handle. And then the second option is just go randomly on social media, look at other models' work, look at who they've worked with. If I like an image that they've worked or an image that they have, I appreciate that one. I'll see who shot that and then go from there and look for their websites. And it's kind of like one crazy maze of directions that I end up getting myself into. And it's a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. I'm not even that good on the internet versus Francis. He can find a photographer's name in 5 seconds while I take 5 minutes. So it takes a lot of time and a lot of details to find these people. Once I find them, I send them a somewhat detailed but unique email. And when I say that, I make sure I say their name or however they want to be called. I kind of say something that links to their own work. Either a photo that I really did appreciate just to show them that I'm a real human being and I'm personally going and altering every single email. I start off with a base email hi, hope all was well, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be in New York, January, this date, and this date, and then kind of ending it. But in between all of those little base text, I have something unique that is more personalized to the photographer that I'm trying to reach out to. I do this all the time because I get a lot of emails myself, and there's a lot of people that don't do the same thing with me, which is fine, but I can tell when something is copy and pasted, and especially if you're not going to introduce my name in the email, then I definitely feel like my time is not worth it if I don't see that you're just saying, hi, so-and-so, my name is so-and-so. Please at least say my name's Shima. Say, hi, Shima, or even say, hi, L. I get that a lot where people just call me L because they think that's the actual name that they should be calling me. It's totally fine. I'll always correct somebody, but realistically, at least it's somewhat personal and not some random copy and paste. So that's why I do it. I want to make sure that the people that are reading these emails understand that I'm a human being and I'm actually physically looking at their work and I appreciate it and I really enjoy it. That's why I'm emailing them. Whew, okay. So once I email them, I usually just make sure that oh, your phone died. No, you can definitely check it on YouTube and SoundCloud. Good night. Anyways, I will definitely make sure that, I'll read over it, make sure it doesn't have any typos if I can possibly catch it. But imagine, I'm emailing about 20 people in a round. So sometimes there might be a little typos, but usually I do my best to make sure they're all personalized and typo-free and showcasing my work, so either in a link or a attached image. So that's kind of how I do it in the beginning parts. It gets a little bit more crazier as I go on, but I'll get to that a little bit deeper. So earlier today, I was doing that, and I sent, honestly, about 20 emails, maybe a little less, maybe 15 emails. And I got these photographers from random places, and I don't consider it as stealing when it comes to looking at other models and seeing who they've worked with. I feel like that is actually something that a lot of models and photographers should do, is look at other individual artists and see who they've worked with and kind of go from there as a domino effect. Because when I look at a model's work and I see that they're shot an image that is freaking gorgeous, I almost cussed actually, freaking gorgeous, I feel more inspired. I want to work with that person. And that's what I do when I credit my photographers. I want other people to see this image and love the image and then be like, who shot this? This image is fantastic. And then going from there. And I would not mind at all if another model went through my Instagram or Tumblr and found Paul Tamayo and decided I'm going to message Paul Tamayo and see if he's interested in working with me. I do believe I had one good friend a few years ago actually do that with a New York photographer that I worked with. And it worked out to both of our benefits. Like, this photographer was fucking awesome. She got awesome photos out of it. So did I. Like, it just ends up working out. So, I mean, some people might not be like that. I know a variety of different people that do not credit at all. That bugs me with a passion. But whatever, if they don't want to credit, I will find the photographer or the model or the artist of any kind, and trust me, I will find them. Don't you worry. But that was just a little random tidbit. But anyways, I was starting the emails, and I sent about 15, and now is the process of kind of waiting. Just to see if somebody will respond. I got like one person say that they won't actually be in town when I'm going to be there, but let them know when I will. So I sent them a quick email back saying, I'll be there back in February, and still waiting for the response. So just because y'all might feel that I might be like whatever adjective you want to describe me, there are times where I get rejected as well. It happens. Everyone gets rejected, and it's something that just you got to deal with in the career path that you're going, and you just move along. You just keep going. Just keep swimming. Okay, anyways, so that was one of them, and then technically I didn't get rejected, but I'm just waiting for the response. There was one that I just got before the show started, and she told me that she is completely booked with scheduling and she just can't do it, and told me good luck and have fun and stuff like that. So I did technically get rejected, but she handled it in a nice way. Now, the actual good stuff that I am about to rant on. Let me drink water before I go heavy on this, because this is gonna get heavy. So everyone is open to their opinions, obviously. This episode or these podcasts are all about my thoughts and don't dribble. I will make sure that I don't dribble. These episodes are all about my thoughts and my opinions towards things that I've experienced. Have you ever really wanted a job or shoot and the photographer just didn't want you for it? I'll answer that in a second. Just remind me. So everyone's open to their own thoughts and opinions. Got that out of the bag. All right, so I sent an email to a certain photographer. I'm not going to name names. I'm not all about that blacklist type stuff unless they literally like abuse the shit out of me or something. So this certain individual photographer, I emailed them as I emailed everyone else, all 14 other people. I obviously made it more personalized. I wrote their name. I wrote something that made them more unique to their own company or their own brand or whatever they want to call themselves. And I sent it out. And I linked my work too. I got a response, so that's nice. Sometimes people don't ever respond back. So that was nice. At least I got a response. Now, I might be exaggerating at some points because I don't have the email up and I don't really want to read it, but I'm going to kind of give you the basic idea of what the email said. So it said my name's, no, it did not say my name. Awesome, it did not even say my name. It said, hi, thank you for the interest in working with me. I'm trying to think without, like, making it seem like this person's, like, a negative person or anything like that. Hi, thank you for the interest in working with me. I am currently only accepting trade if the artist has over 100K followers or if they are involved with a proper agency. If none of the above follows, then this is my current rate. And then they went on the spiel about their rate and how exactly they detail it in their own personal way. Thank you, Theron, for liking the shirt. Sorry, you streamers, I haven't really paid much attention to you. It's just Periscope is super freaking fast with their text. Thank you for liking the shirt. It's Booty King. Check them out. And then hello, JR, and also hello, Theron. I just didn't see the actual first text. So I got that email. And I'm reading that, and this is by far not the first time this has happened. This is maybe the second or third, so it doesn't happen as often. Some of y'all might be like, I noticed you on Periscope, like, shake my head. Some of y'all might be just confused on why I'm even bringing this up. And don't worry, again, you might not be the same way I'm feeling or anything like that. Hi, Duan. But I see that their only interest in shooting trade is if the individual, so we'll say model, we'll say me, the only way this photographer will shoot me is if I have over 100K followers or if I have an agency representing me. So we'll start with the bare minimum. We'll start with the paid issue. I am not against paying people. That photographer, that's their job. Me, this is my job. So we have to pay bills. I understand when you have to pull rates to somebody. I totally get it. I understand. I don't get butthurt about it. Like, I seriously don't. I think it's totally fine. I have to do that to a lot of photographers, and sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, I just want to give them a chance. But realistically, I can't. Like, I really can't, and I would love to, but I just can't. So that's totally understandable. Not even hating on that whatsoever. That's just how life goes, and if you can't handle somebody trying to charge you, then this is a very tough business for you to be in. Point blank. All right, we'll start with the second one. Being represented by an agency. Well, I have a manager, but he didn't say management. He said agency. I mean, I could pull the card of saying, oh, well, I have a manager. Like, you know, and they'll never say die. Like, I seriously have this, and this is proof. I could do that. Not gonna do that. And the reason why I don't really actually have an agency is because no agency kind of fits with my lifestyle, how I want my brand to be. And I missed the one, if you said something, I saw somebody post a long text, so if you want to send that again, maybe. But I choose to not be represented by an agency. That's based on choice. I technically went to an agency when I first moved to Detroit and did not appreciate how they handled the professionalism. Did not whatsoever. And apparently they're the biggest agency in all of Michigan. Did not appreciate it whatsoever. So I've tried maybe a couple times throughout my entire career, and that just nobody works based on how I want my brand to be represented. Just, it's not. So I'm not saying I'm never going to be part of an agency. If the right one comes, I will accept it. But until then, I like controlling what I do. I think I handle it as best as I possibly can. I like being able to talk to every single person involved in a photo shoot. I don't like to be thrown into a photo shoot and not really know what their name is or what I'm going to actually be doing or who's actually going to be there. I rather have as much control as I possibly can. So, and I get it. Agencies kind of make it seem like a big deal, like you're a big time model if you have an agency. I understand. That's just how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. Like, it's life in this career. Again, if you get butthurt about somebody saying you have to be agency represented by this point in your career, you're going to have a hard time if you're going to try to be a freelance model, because that happens a good amount of time. So we'll now end it with the thing that I really am very want to rant about. The 100K followers. All right, let me just make sure I see eye to eye with this individual and all the other ones that have done the same thing to me. You want me to have 100K followers for the purpose of the idea that I will hopefully post at least one of the photos to my social media, and the idea that you will hopefully get some of my followers based on the earlier quick topic of people seeing your name and saying, "Ooh, I really like this photo from so-and-so. Let me follow them, or let me see if they will like to shoot me." I am not hating whatsoever. It's what happens. I talked about social media in a prior episode. That's just what ends up happening in today's life. You just have certain people that you kind of not use them, but you just kind of hope that you'll get their following, or at least a couple of followers from them. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done it countless times, and there's people that have done it to me. It's It's pretty, wouldn't say standard, but it's becoming standard in today's times. And I'm not hating on that idea whatsoever. I've done it. It happens. It happens that way, and it's the truth. It's honest truth. Nowadays, followers are something that people need to have, apparently, especially when it comes to arts. And I think followers are important because without followers, or without supporters that I like to call y'all, I wouldn't have this podcast. I wouldn't be doing this episode. I wouldn't even be existing as far as a model goes. So without supporters, I wouldn't be here. So I think they are highly important, and I feel like it is important to have as many as you want if you want to become well known. I'm not looking to be famous. I'm not looking to be like a household name. I'm just looking to have fun with my life and do what I enjoy best. So we'll say this because I don't want any of y'all to think this is a horrible person or anything. This is just one person's ideas that do not agree with my own. I say, if you look on my Instagram, I officially hit the 10K mark. I finally have a K on my Instagram. This is amazing. Amazing. I don't have as many unique followers, meaning people that are actually more engaged, or not unique, engaged followers, because I have 10K, but I only get like, and y'all might be like, I technically only get like averagely or now 300 likes per image, averagely. And you'll see another model that, or another person that has 10K followers, and they get like 1,000 likes per image. So I have a good amount of followers, but a lot of them are not engaging. So a lot of them are not on Periscope right now or Ustream. It's just I have a good hub of supporters. So the ones that aren't engaging, like I've mentioned before, are considered fans. They're not supporting me whatsoever. They're just people that like looking at certain things, and they're like, oh, I'm a fan. So I completely think having a good support and following is important, especially nowadays where that's what people look at. For example, this photographer, that's what they want to look at. Now, I think it's crazy. I don't know about you. You might disagree with me, and that's totally fine. And please, if you do disagree with me, please tell me why, and like kind of help me out kind of seeing this person's point of view. I think it's freaking crazy. I instantly, Ustream, why do you do this to me? Ustream is canceling right now for some reason. Well, anyways, I'll keep rambling. But for whatever reason, I saw the email and instantly just thought, that's dumb. That's just dumb. Why do you want to base who you work with based on their followers? Or if they're agency represented. Like, that just seems ridiculous to me. And Ustream is currently lost connection for some damn reason. So now I'm just waiting for that to pop up. So I'm just talking to you, Periscope, right now. I just don't understand why that is a huge concern nowadays. Because if I was a photographer or if I was a model like I am, when I pick certain people to work with, I pick them based on their talents and their professionalism. So, and I completely get, maybe they want to maximize the amount of people who would see their work, and I completely agree. I think that makes sense. I've done it. I technically have stolen fans or followers from other people, and vice versa. There's people that I don't care if I advertise a photographer on my social media and then you go and check them out and start following them. I don't care. That's awesome. That means I'm spreading these people's works around. But it just seems a little crazy that you want to base somebody only on their following. And like I was trying to mention, but I forgot, my Instagram, I have 10K followers. So that's not a lot in comparison to all these other models, or even people that aren't models and or photographers. They're just pretty people that like to shoot selfies of them, and they just look nice and can shoot nice photos. Those people tend to have a lot of followers. Mine, on the other hand, doesn't. And I don't think I'm bad for that. I don't think there's anything wrong with me because of that. I have gained the amount of followers on a slow increase because, and you ask since when is 10K not a lot? And it realistically is. It is a lot, but in comparison to these other people that have 100K followers or even 30 followers, it's technically not as much. I know I sound like a snob saying this, but it's what I deal with on a daily. But this person is only looking at the social media that shows their following. Let's use Twitter for an example. Also shows the following. I don't feel like he cares too much that I don't have 100K followers on Twitter. I'm not really sure. I mean, he didn't really actually mention which social media he wants 100K from. But I'm going to be quick to assume that it's supposed to be for Instagram. So I don't really have 100K on Twitter, but I mean, I think that's still a good number that I have. I have I don't even know what I have on Twitter. You can check for me, but I really don't remember what number I have on Twitter. But the weird part is, you don't know how many people I have on Tumblr. I've worked freaking hard for my Tumblr numbers. And it's ridiculous because I honestly have a shit ton of Tumblr followers. A shit ton. Like, a ridiculous amount. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a good amount of these models on Instagram that come nowhere near the amount of followers I have on Tumblr. And I'm not trying to be a snob or stuck up and say, like, oh my god, I'm the shit, I have this many fucking followers. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to make an understanding of, finally, sorry, Ustream. Thanks, Ustream. Sorry, Theron and everyone else that is on Ustream and had to wait for me to show up because Ustream just randomly lost connection. This is like the 5th time. I'm exaggerating, but this is like the 5th time that Ustream has done this to me, and it's annoying. Sorry. You missed it if you didn't check on Periscope, so I'm sorry for that little ramble. And you're right, Tumblr isn't as popular as Instagram right now. It's not. It realistically is not. And I completely, I wouldn't say understand, because I think Tumblr is a shit, but it's the truth. It's not as easy accessible as Instagram is. You can't just get on your phone quickly and then start swiping up and down and liking it. I mean, you technically can, but it's not as, it's huge, but it's not as easy to use, I guess you can say, as far as Instagram is. And it's just, it sucks. It honestly sucks that now we live in a time where people are relying on your followers before your talent or your professionalism. He didn't comment on me personally. He didn't mention exactly what social media that I need to have 100K in. It's very interesting, and again, he's not the first one to do this. This is like maybe the 2nd or 3rd time, so it's not a lot of people do this, but it's just still the idea that people actually really care, and it's insane. And I think that talent and professionalism is way more important than how many followers you have. Seriously, way more important. So after this email was sent to me, I turned to Francis and I'm like, I seriously appreciate every photographer that has given me a chance. Like, seriously. All the photos you've seen of me on social media, I give every single one of those photographers a high five and just a jab, like a little punch. What am I thinking? What do you call this? I can't figure out. Fist pump. Fist bump. I don't even know. But I appreciate all the photographers that actually given me a chance and did not rely on my following. And I appreciate y'all so fucking much. A dab. It is a dab too. Fist pump. Dab. Alright. So that was my little ramble. And also, funny part, he didn't even have 100K. He had like 15K, and another model that he worked with only had like 50K. And the idea also was most likely she bought those followers. And that was another thing. It's the fact that I could also buy 100K followers, and you would never know. I mean, technically, if you looked at like my engaging user, following and stuff, you can figure it out if you added the pieces together. But realistically, if you just looked really fast, oh, Shima has 100K followers, alright, that's totally fine, let me send her an email real fast. You would have totally been on board. But since I didn't buy it because I actually wanted to have real followers, I cannot work with you for whatever reason. And yes, buying followers is a real thing, and I don't disagree with it to a certain extent. So that was my little rant. I think that was a little insane. If you disagree with me, totally fine to disagree with me. Tell me why if you disagree with me, because I'm very interested in knowing why. How do people buy followers? There's like a system. You just gotta find a certain company, and that's how it works. I know a few models that do it. I know a few photographers that do it. It happens. I've thought about it for myself, not basically buying like a shit ton, not 100K followers, but like buying like 500 just to like push it real good. But I haven't done it. It's just one of those thoughts that it can be super helpful, obviously, in this idea. But I feel like when you exceed a certain limit of how many you actually bought, it looks obviously fake, and it's not as nice. Maze bought followers. Then when Instagram cleaned up, his followers declined a lot, laughed a lot. Yeah, and that happens too. So that's an unfortunate thing too. I don't want Instagram to clean it and then like, oh, Shima actually only has 5 fucking followers. Anyways, okay. So oh, y'all made me laugh. So, I wanted to kind of go over a little bit also in regards to the organization of my travels and how I kind of handle things. I feel like I got a lot of it mentioned, so whatever if I did. But Kira's making me hot. Like, I'm sweating right now. It's disgusting. So, when it comes to my travels, it's kind of one of those long processes. I feel like that's too many S's. Anyways, it's a long process that I typically have to do on a daily basis. So the beginning has just finally started. I had a poster. I created a poster. I made sure that it had the specifics that I wanted to have advertised, and then I sent it out to the world for everyone to see. Yay! So like I mentioned earlier, if it's a paid photographer, I will usually have them personally message me because I don't want to come at them to try to get money from them. So that's usually how I'll do it. I kind of base that also. I kind of rely on Model Mayhem for that. And then I rely on some other photographers that might just be dwindling on like Twitter or Instagram and stuff, and let them have the chance to actually see the email. From there, I start researching certain photographers that I feel like would benefit my portfolio. So I'll go and find them somehow, some way, like I mentioned, going through models' photos, and then going from there and looking at their social media, and then going to their website, and then finding an email, and then sending them a personalized email, and then sending it, and then waiting. So that's what I end up doing as far as the hub of it all. The reason for this trip, actually, is not for modeling. Like, I felt like, oh, I'm gonna be there, I might as well fucking model. But Francis has 3 pieces that he's getting framed for an art show called the Society of Illustrators. And so that's gonna be in New York in beginning of February, but the due date for them to actually have the pieces is by the 15th, or somewhere around there. So he was originally going to ship these 3 framed pieces. I will tell him you say congratulations. I'm sure he can hear me, but we'll let him just wait. So he technically was going to ship these 3 pieces, and he was actually going to use a, there's glass, and then there's the not glass, but it's, God, my words today, I cannot think for the life of me. Okay, y'all know it. It's glass, and then there's the see-through thing that's not glass. No, it's plastic, but it's called something. It's not ceramics, it's glass, and then there's why am I having, it's like it's plastic, like you can bend it. Francis. No, you can't hear me. Francis? Yeah. What's this? It's glass, and then it's, what did you want for your frames? Plexiglass. Got it. You took too long. All right, plexiglass. Yes, you're right. So he originally wanted to get plexiglass because he didn't obviously want the frames or the glass to shatter over his pieces. And I know y'all are laughing at me right now, and I'm laughing at myself too, so we can laugh together. Anyways, so he wanted to use plexiglass for the best, safer way to ship these. Well, we went to a lot of framers and found out that since he used pastel mixed with, well, realistically, since he just used pastel, he used like a mix of acrylic and like added water to it and like all this fancy schmancy shit. But since he used since he used pastel, the plexiglass was going to basically kind of suck that shit up, like just. And plexiglass is also more expensive than glass. So for that not to happen, the cost of plexi would go up really high. So Francis decided to choose glass because glass also is the shit. And Francis, they want you to come say hi. Okay, he's coming. He's coming. Huh? Yes, that, well, more like one audience demands it. I don't know if that's the non-plural of audience, but.
Ah! Oh, there's a dog under there? Holy shit. Kira, I'm sorry. You're hiding underneath the blanket.
Oh, the periscopes can see it. There you go.
You're hiding under the blanket.
Yeah, so Francis just smushed our dog, so that's just something that just happened. Anyways, so...
Okay, that's enough of me.
Yeah, okay, that'd be bad. So he had the frame. We went to the framers and decided plexiglass was not going to be the option, so we decided to go with glass. So after we finally decided once he decided who he's going to go with, we quickly went to these shippers. I don't know what it was called, but this company that ships shit and they build boxes and all this crazy shit. And we wanted to get a quote from them. So these pieces are pretty sizable. Like there's like one that's bigger than the rest, but they're pretty sizable pieces. And the cost for shipping would have been like around $700 from Detroit to New York by the 15th. I looked at Francis once that happened, and I'm like, no, it wasn't FedEx. It was a shipping company that uses FedEx and UPS and all that other stuff, but they they build those like wooden boxes to put it in, and we believed it too. We were like, we kind of assumed that was going to be the cost around that much. But I looked at Francis as soon as the guy had told us the quote, and I'm like, so I mean, I'm just throwing this idea out there, but realistically, I could rent a car, I could drive to New York, I could possibly book some gigs while I'm in New York, and hand deliver the paintings to the Society of Illustrators, most likely all for less than $600. So if you're up for that idea, I can definitely do that. And so that's the reason why I am going to New York, is to basically hand deliver paintings. So I'm going to rent a car and slowly drive myself to New York to make sure these paintings don't break or get damaged whatsoever on the transportation way there, and then eventually just get there and be like, hey, here's the paintings, take it so we don't have to worry about it and you can worry about it yourself. And then after that, I'm good and going to set up shoots. So I'm excited for this trip. It's been a few months since I was in New York. It's not been a year yet, so I just love New York. I'm hoping the weather will be a lot better when I get there, and I'm excited to see the photographers that I will work with. So if you are a photographer, don't feel scared to email me in regards to what I previously mentioned. I am super nice, as you can possibly imagine. This is literally me in real life. And I will try to work with you as best as I possibly can. And I promise I don't bite. Anyways, and so I'm kind of in the final, or not the final, but the beginning stages of organizing this trip. I still need to message a lot of photographers. I'm still working with a lot of photographers. And I also plan this time around to kind of set up a more interesting trip. I've told Francis, and he's not on board with this idea, and I don't fully know if I'm on board with it, but I was thinking this trip should be different. Like, this is like my third, fourth time being in New York with modeling, and I should like change something up. So I might, I told Francis that I'm open to the idea of personally going to other like random stores, to like Macy's and shit, and buying like these awesome brand new clothes and then returning them when I get back. Because a lot of times I go to thrift stores, as I've mentioned countless times on episodes, and I enjoy going to thrift stores. My legs are like sore as fuck. I enjoy going to thrift stores, but there are times when it takes a longer time. If somebody doesn't want to shoot in a specific outfit, it basically goes to waste sometimes because I don't really wear them at my house or in my normal life. And so I felt like maybe I should try going to a actual store and buying something and then later on returning it. So maybe I will invite y'all to it and y'all can pick certain looks or something. I don't really know. I didn't really think much of this. I just literally thought this earlier today. But aside from just changing it as far as clothing wise, I also thought, well, maybe I should like do something with my hair or change my nails or like get all dolled up and shit. And I didn't think I would be ready for that yet, but then since I'll be going back to New York in the beginning of February, I thought maybe this was my last trip to actually be what I am, just like what I look like right now, and work with what I got. And then the next trip is like the reveal of like a new L.Shima, maybe. I don't know, like, and I told the idea of like, for instance, like what, like getting like your makeup did. I'm like, no, more like chopping my hair off. And he's not on board with that idea.
Bad idea.
He says it's a bad idea. He likes my long hair, and I like my long hair too, but but one day, people, I'm just gonna let y'all know, one day this hair has to go. I can't keep it forever. It has to eventually go. And everyone is on your side, Francis, and everyone's saying, my phone just fell, and Ustream has disappeared. Everyone's saying, don't cut my hair. One person says that they think I'd rock the short hair, but eventually, I swear, eventually, I will chop this lovely, luscious locks off. Maybe not all of it, but at least like a good amount where I can kind of start over. And there's a couple of models that I for sure know have cut their hair. There's Shea Maria, is it Shea Marie? Shea Maria. Shea Maria that had chopped her hair off, and then there's also Chastity Simone that also shaved her head off. Her hair off. And so it is different. Like, I really loved when Shay had her hair long and then she chopped it off. And I'm like, you still look pretty, but I don't know. I thought you looked a lot better with long hair. But one of these days it'll happen and y'all are just gonna have to deal with it and then hate me for the rest of your life and be like, so what, L.Shima? I'm gonna find a new model and I've moved on. And I'm gonna be like, this is very sad, but see you later. You have the look and the personality that would complement the aesthetic. Oh, you're so sweet. And somebody can Photoshop long hair. They would probably freaking hate it, but, you know, it's doable. So if you want me with long hair and I have no hair, you can Photoshop it off. No worries. You know, just take, like, you know, a few hours of your life to do that. But yeah. Now I am Photoshop short hair. Yeah, nobody's gonna do that. Well, I was interested in, because I want to, before I change my hair, I want to do a shoot with braids, and then I also wanted to do a shoot with like an afro. And that's funny because I did my shoot with the afro and thought it was awesome. And I don't know because if I'm going to have an actual real life afro, I need to cut my hair super short and then have them, what is that term now? Man, my words today. Permit. I'm gonna have to get my hair cut super short. And George, thank you for liking the shirt. Check out Booty King. It's totally an advertisement. But to cut off my hair off, and then for them to perm it, for it to actually kind of turn into an afro. So that shoot was kind of to get an idea if I would be up for that idea, because I don't know what I would look like with an afro, because my head is pretty round to begin with, so having another round object on my head might not be as awesome. But seriously, I mean, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. This is just random thoughts in my head throughout the day to keep me preoccupied. I don't know why I'm doing this still. And Akira's eating her bone. Periscopes can't see that. If you're wondering what that sound is, it's Akira eating her bone. But, alright, guys. I think it's it. And I'm sorry, you streamers, for that whole episode. Ustream just, like, canceled on me. I don't really know why it did that. And I'm sorry it did that, and I apologize. I have no control over that. Ustream is just Ustream, and they like to lose connection for some goddamn reason. It's not my internet, because I have full freaking bars. But whatever, Ustream. And Periscope, thanks for not canceling on me. I appreciate it. Alright, y'all. Well, I think this was an awesome episode. And definitely check out Booty King, because, yes, it's product placement. And also check out my store at L.Shima.BigCartel.com. I swear you'll find some awesome things. And if not, you can definitely email me if you have any merchandise or products that you're interested in possibly having. So definitely email me any thoughts that you might have. But yeah, so I gotta get back to work. Actually, I am lying. I'm not gonna get back to work. I'm gonna watch Rugrats and fall asleep, and maybe watch Seinfeld and then fall asleep and start the day off tomorrow because it's Monday. I made myself laugh. Let me pause it real fast and like make a. Is this a nice pose? Is this a nice pose? Because all of my photos on my banners, my covers for YouTube and SoundCloud are not really the most attractive looking photos that I can possibly do. But you try going through a whole hour's worth of footage and trying to find one good photo where I'm not like mid talk. Like it's really hard. So hold on, I gotta look on Ustream because that's where I get it. Is that cute? Is that cute? Is that cute? Is that cute? I think a normal smile. Alright, y'all. You just watched me do that. And yeah, so have a great night, everyone, on Periscope. See you later. And have a fantastic night, everyone, on Ustream. Sorry again for it kicking you out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Bye.